Hello, I'm Richard Whiteford. Do you know that every 24 hours humans pump 91 million tons of CO2 in the atmosphere, and that stays up there for over 100 years? As a result, the CO2 concentration has jumped from an 800,000 year average of 280 parts per million to today's 393 parts per million. That's a jump of over 113 parts per million. The more CO2 in the atmosphere, the hotter the atmosphere gets. And the hotter the atmosphere gets, the more moisture it holds. The more moisture it holds, the bigger and the more frequent the storms get. As the atmosphere gets hotter, it causes severe storms and flooding in some areas, and heat waves cause severe droughts and wildfires in other areas. The CO2 we put in the atmosphere comes from burning fossil fuels like oil, coal, and natural gas. For example, every gallon of gasoline you burn puts 20 pounds of CO2 in the atmosphere, and that stays up there for over 100 years. And as I said, we pump 91 million tons of CO2 up there every 24 hours. This summer we saw 75% of the polar ice cap melt away, so there's no doubt that global warming is happening now. If we plan to survive on this planet, we have to stop burning oil, coal, and gas as soon as possible. Think about it like this. You're in a car speeding toward a solid wall. If you speed past a given point, applying the brakes will be too late to avoid a fatal crash. That's where we are now, pumping CO2 into the atmosphere. We have now passed the point of avoiding a collision, but we still have a short window of time to prevent it from being fatal. Politicians and fossil fuel industry people say it'll hurt the economy to change to green, clean energy. But you know what? Switching to clean energy will create jobs and boost the economy. But the most baffling consideration is this. If we don't stop burning fossil fuels right now, the economy will be a moot point.